What's up everyone? So in this video I want to discuss a little bit about emotions and how emotions are actually addictions. So a lot of people probably haven't thought about this, and there's probably a really large portion of people that are triggered at even attempting to think that this might be true, because human beings tend to identify with their emotions and project their emotions onto the outside world. Unfortunately, there's a great saying: nothing is good or bad. Thinking makes it so. In the case of emotions, what are emotions? They are a pattern of behavior that has been solidified over time. And now, this pattern of behavior is autopilot, or subconscious, as many people will say. So some people, they try to get their emotions out of them by doing all these crazy detoxifications and cleansing, and I went through that phase. Didn't really get me very far. Massages, because emotions are muscular. But what about really understanding what the subconscious mind actually is, without all this spiritual guru shit, this mumbo jumbo? Alright, whenever someone mentions subconscious mind, essentially what they're talking about is habits, okay? Essentially. And so if you do something consistently enough for long enough, it's going to become autopilot. It's just going to happen over time. Memory, muscle memory, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's a habit. And so if, for years you get angry when somebody drops water on the floor, you're going to get angry every time someone drops water on the floor. Sometimes people get really, really triggered over really retarded things, and I wonder, why the fuck are they getting angry over that? You have to understand it's just a habit they developed, but they're not aware of it even being a habit. They're not even aware of why they get angry in the first place. They don't have any logic behind it usually, and they don't know where it came from, and they're blaming the outside world for it. How often have you ever heard somebody say, "You're making me angry. I'm really angry right now. Can you stop talking to me? Can you stop doing that thing that makes me angry?" How many times in your life have you told someone else, "You're pissing me off right now. You're really annoying. You're making me angry"? You're blaming other people for your emotions. This is a very dangerous behavior. In order for you to start to change the habit of negative emotions, you have to first understand that you are the creator of these emotions. And if you blame other people for your anger, you're probably blaming other people for your happiness too and don't realize it, or blaming other things for your happiness. You have to see that all these emotions are generated, and they're all things that you develop over time, you grow over time, and you program them over time. I see some people who are always fucking angry. People who are always angry, they're always stressed out. And every time I spend time with them, they say hi or whatever, and then start complaining about something, start talking crap about somebody, criticizing people that aren't even, really in their lives, have nothing to do with their lives or the situation or anything. Criticizing others, complaining about things, talking about how hopeless things are, always bringing up the things that bother them, and they always have something stressful to talk about. And you can always tell, you can feel the dense energy around them all the time, and their skin is all red because of all the anger they've got inside them, all the stress. And you realize, holy shit, maybe you wouldn't be so angry if you didn't talk about things that made you angry all the damn time. And the response is probably something really stupid that kind of just justifies their addiction to stress. Some like, "Oh, you wouldn't understand, like, how am I supposed to get out of this this problem if I don't think about it. You know, if you had this problem, you'd always think about it too, and blah, blah, blah. And they lose sleep, and they wonder why they're so anxious. Their doctor gives them anxiety meds, gives them insomnia meds. Meanwhile, the reality is they're, for the most part, creating their situation. They're creating their stress, creating all these emotions that they don't want to feel. And it seems like at first you wonder, like, you try to tell them, you try to wake them up, and then you just realize, holy fuck, like, this is just the way they are, the way that they are. And everybody is the way that they are because of habits they developed over time. The only way to change is to understand that it is a habit and that you can change it. Because you could tell them all you want, like, dude, you're constantly complaining. Of course you're stressed out. Like, just stop complaining so much. That doesn't work. You could tell them, focus on things that make you happy. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. That's not going to help them. They've got habits they developed over time that keep them fixated on this. It's a addiction to stress and negativity. And addictions are just habits. They're just habits based on strong emotional urges, essentially. You know, and if every time you are in traffic you get angry, well shit, every time you get in traffic in the future you're going to get angry. The only way you can change it is to break the damn habit. And how do you do that? Well, the only way you can break a habit is when the trigger presents itself. For addictions such as pornography, you know, the trigger could be boredom, the trigger could be a sexual picture or something. And for someone stuck in traffic who always gets angry in traffic, you gotta wait till you get stuck in traffic again. You should be excited for yourself to get stuck in traffic. You should want to get stuck in traffic again, so that when you do get stuck in traffic, you can sit there when you normally get angry and breathe. And a lot of people can't breathe due to breathlessness, overbreathing syndrome, hyperventilation syndrome. I have a video on this. So if you can't breathe, you should probably learn how to breathe by watching these videos I made about these things first. Stress takes the breath out of you anyway. But when the opportunity presents itself and you're there in traffic, you need to breathe. And then if it really bothers you and you feel the autopilot thoughts kick in, all the complaining and shit, don't fake positive thoughts. That's fucking retarded. I've seen people try that. It doesn't work. Instead, just think more rationally about the situation. Well, where do I have to go? If you don't have anywhere to go, there's no reason to be angry. I don't really have anywhere to go, and interesting weather outside. If it's raining, shit, interesting weather, right? Like, listen to the rain. If you don't like rain, well, that's a habit. Learn to enjoy the rain. If it's sunny outside, great. Pay attention to the sun. Oh, you don't like the sun? It burns you? Jesus Christ, you sensitive ass motherfucker. How the fuck are you going to survive in life if you're that fucking fragile? You really got to create the space for you to feel better in this situation. And when you do, you can change the habit. You can change how you feel about the situation. You can change how you think about the situation. You can try to understand the situation. And understand that getting angry is not going to change anything. Understand that getting angry is just an addiction, just like pornography. You get the urges, you know, there's a trigger. Like, oh, the traffic, it's fucking traffic, rah. Like, you don't have to react. The less that you act on your anger or react to the anger, don't even say anything. If you say something like, oh, I hate traffic, like, dude, you're just making shit hard for yourself. Don't say anything about it. It's torture, I know, right? But the more that you talk about something that pisses you off, the more pissed off you will be. People think that if they complain or they rant, they'll feel better. But actually science has shown, and we know this because we've done it our whole lives, ranting and complaining only makes things worse. Makes you feel worse. It does not relieve you. If you're looking for relief, what you really got to do is slow the momentum. Because you're like, oh, I'm angry. And then stop, the momentum. Breathe. And the emotion's going to be there. Know that you're only reacting to this emotion because you want relief. So unless the situation changes or you change, you're not going to get that relief. But the problem is if you just let the situation change, you're probably just a really triggered person in general. So you're going to find all these other things that cause you to be triggered throughout the day. Essentially, you're a slave to life. You're a slave to the outside world. You're a slave to energy. You need to start making energy work in your favor. That's what energy is. Emotion is. That's what emotion is. Energy in motion. Your anger is like, oh, this energy, it's in motion. Like, oh, I'm fucking angry. Stop emotion. Slow it down. Okay. Oh, it's not that bad. It's, fuck it. If I get fired from a job, oh well. Oh, I can't get fired. I'm gonna lose my house. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Fuck it. Oh well. You might be disappointed, but at least you're not angry. You can stop this habit, okay? You can change it. You see, you should be able to understand what I'm saying here with these weird examples I'm giving and shit. If you don't understand, then anything I say here is probably not gonna help. But habits, emotions of all kinds are habits. People who are happy all the time generally think things that will make them happy. They act in ways that will make them happy. They try to buy things to make them happy, or they don't. You shouldn't need to buy something to make you happy, but they're more likely to spend money on things that make them happy rather than things that they think will make them happy. Okay, instead of getting a car payment, that'll spend the whole paycheck on, they spend their money on like an arcade with some of their friends, which will make them feel great. Or it doesn't really that whole discussion isn't necessary, but you get the picture though. People who are addicted to anger will always find ways to make them angry. People that are addicted to happiness, every time you see them, they greet you with happiness and enthusiasm. They talk about things they're passionate about. They are just overwhelmed with excitement to start doing things to make them happy, or to get started on their projects or what have you. They're just easier to talk to, easier to get along with. They never drop their problems on you because they know that makes them upset when they start talking about the problems, and makes you upset. But they drop their happiness on you instead. Okay, so everything that the anger addicted person will be doing, the happy addicted person is going to be doing the opposite. And you can always shift these things. Okay, if you start to react a certain way, you're going to react that way more and more and more unless you stop it. I don't know if you ever picked up a strange phrase or word from one of your friends, and it's like you notice you start using it, and then you use it more and more and more and more. The more you use it, the more you're going to use it. It's the same way that emotions work. It's like learning any kind of skill, really. At first, it doesn't really feel so natural. You have to kind of like consciously direct your energy towards building a new habit or whatever, changing your reaction. You gotta consciously change your reaction. Most people don't want to consciously change anything in their life. They're always on autopilot. Well, that's where anger comes from. That's where pornography addiction comes from. That's where all these things that make you feel unhappy and that make you unsuccessful, these are all autopilot behaviors. And the one thing that's going to make you better than the rest of the world or whatever, is going to make you live your best life, is changing your autopilot thoughts and behavior. You want to look at your life in a way that makes you empowered. If you have kids, think of them as helping you, okay, not hurting you, and see them as something that you can build up too. Okay, in a way, you want to see your children as projects, even though some people will freak out because they're like, oh, you're objectifying. No, you're not objectifying shit. You're looking at your children as projects, looking at them as something that you can build into a great thing. Obviously, they're conscious, living human beings with brains of their own, and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want. But you want to try to influence them as best as you can. You want to try to guide them in the best direction you can, basically. And they're going to choose the path they go in, but you want to make sure that they don't go towards drugs, or they don't, end up in a bad place. So really, try to learn how to react to them in an empowering fashion, not in a domination type fashion, like, oh, I'm gonna discipline you if you do that. Like, no, that's retarded. Don't take your emotions out on your children. Okay, practice this logic type thing with them. Okay, practice this, changing your autopilot behaviors, and then teach them to conquer their autopilot behaviors. You got to see, what do I want to create in my life? How do I want to react in this situation? And then start to change your reaction to match these things. If you have a goal of creating a video blog and you buy all this fucking equipment but never accomplish shit, you never actually post videos even though you got all these cameras. A lot of people do that. I'm starting to notice now. They buy a bunch of cameras and shit and they never actually post videos up on their YouTube ever. They don't record videos, and if they do, they never make anything of it. Like, why the fuck spend all this money on cameras if you're not going to do something about it? It's because they don't have the habits built up. How the fuck are you going to do anything with videos if you don't have the habit of posting videos? It's the most important thing. And I'm over here with this badass, I have this Logitech webcam that I bought back in 2008 or something. It's old as fuck, and it does me wonders. No one even knows that I'm using an old ass webcam, because I never say it, right? And it doesn't matter, because, well, for one, I'm doing informational videos, but the quality's not that bad. I can do video blogs with this quality and get a lot of people to watch my shit. But I mean, it's, the equipment's not important. It's what you do with the equipment that's important. And I could be like everyone else and be like, oh, like, my equipment sucks, man. I hate my, fuck, how am I gonna ever get people to watch my videos with suck-ass equipment? Well, how are you ever gonna get anyone to watch your videos if you don't have any videos to watch? People are crazy. So you gotta build these habits. Just start posting videos no matter how crappy they are, what equipment you're using, and then over time, when you have a habit built up, then you start to buy equipment. And emotions are the same way. I would be happy when I have a car. No, just change your reactions. Just stop being unhappy about things. Start to feel happy about what you have and what kind of skills you're blessed with. Start to see your blessings, start to see your skills and your gifts, and then start to give them out to the world. And when you start to see what you have now, you can see what you can create, see your natural abilities, see the possibilities in your life, and then you venture out in those possibilities. And by appreciating all the things you have now, you can create what you want in the future. But being so attached to I wish I could be happy, but I got this annoying ass person and blah, blah, blah. Dude, that's not going to do you any good. You're going to stay stuck in this annoying state of consciousness for a long ass time until you change your reaction to it. So don't hate, appreciate. If you have any questions or comments, post down below. If you want me to make a video on any topic at all, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to make a video on whatever topic you choose, subject if I find it interesting. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, and I'll talk to you soon.